Hello and welcome to week 8 of the Self-Led Artist podcast. We have just come fresh off, and I say fresher than a daisy, and I've just eaten my whole Biscoff chocolate situation. We've just come fresh off the first ever online Self-Led Artist webinar, which Alexi was part of, which I am very happy about. And we were just talking about certain things that I could do to refine it a little bit more. So that's what you're joining us on. And then we can maybe, I love that we've just not planned anything for this one.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it real. We can chat through things. And
What's it called? Is it behind the scenes?
yeah, this is
Like
a
a behind the
scenes
scenes.
episode.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah.
happens. The infrastructure behind the self-led artist is what you're witnessing now. It would also be cool
Lucky
as well.
VIPs.
It'd also be cool after you've given me a little bit of feedback on it.
I love how your camera right now is going.
It's so 90s of it to do that. I don't know what quite is going on. Hopefully you can hear me. It might be quite cool as well to just ask you about like each area. And I know that you said that like you're like, wow, okay, I'm just starting on my journey. But
yeah.
I'd be interested to know like what you wrote down for each. But yeah, so aside from maybe making it a little bit more accessible, everyone's camera on unless you don't want them on, and then having a WhatsApp group, you think that the rest of it is all good?
So, like I was saying earlier, I'm just going to check that the lighting in here. Do I look all right?
You look great.
Thanks.
You look like a podcast star.
Oh, I feel like a potato. Today has been a wild ride.
I'm so excited to hear about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, I am going to change one light.
Yeah.
That's too right. And that was mainly. It was mainly because partially I'm feeling like I'm falling asleep.
That's why I just ate all of my chocolate in one go.
Yeah. Some sugar. So I thought that was really, really great. Like I was saying to you earlier before we started filming, I've had like a day where I was so incredibly dysregulated because I have this thing at the moment where I'm learning to connect and accept receiving. Because myself as an artist, the only time I create, and I've learnt this today while doing the self-led artist first one, seminar,
orientation webinar. Yes.
So one of the questions is, and you were talking about when do you create, and do you,
when no one's watching?
When no one's watching, because the sustainability basically is that you can not only be creating for other people to see it, basically. So you can't be creating just for the reactionary.
Yeah.
So me realizing today that all I do is create for others. So it'll be if I get booked for shoots, if someone wants a haircut, if when I was doing art for school, when I was doing a painting there was an exhibition. I don't know if I've ever told you this, or did you see it?
Yeah, tell me.
I had my stuff in an exhibition and I painted 4 paintings.
Wow.
Just like that.
That's so cool.
And then someone wanted to buy one, but it has it's full of my blood. Wow. And I got told by a witch that if you sell a painting with your blood, when you die, you haunt your paintings.
Wow.
So I haven't sold it.
Great reason to do it.
Yeah, so I haven't sold it.
Wow.
Where am I going with this? So the one thing I realized today through your talk is that I need to start creating every day.
Yeah.
For myself. So I've done a few things weirdly recently coming up to this point anyway, which I will go into at some point. But I would say, yeah, definitely. Everything was great. The pace was lovely. I would say, again, for where I've been really overstimulated today, that for me was it was so
Very
chill.
slow.
It
It's
was
too
really
chill.
chill. Like I could have actually just
Fallen
listened
asleep.
and been like,
Okay. Yeah.
so you could do a Radio 4 version
Yeah.
of it, but I would probably
Yeah.
say it was missing for me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was missing a bit of unmasked you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Not
cool.
that you weren't masked, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I felt like
Well,
you could have been a bit like,
there's a well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because actually that version of me is sometimes masked, and actually that was my trying to be very specific with my information mode, but there was a sense of control to it. And I think there's a sense of perfectionism. This is so interesting for me as a reflective process. So actually, yes, if I'm trying to make sure everything feels delivered correctly, that is masking.
because it didn't, for me, I didn't hear it as much. I
Yeah.
couldn't listen because it was more performed.
Okay.
So my
that's great. That's good to know.
My spectrum self will just go, and because it feels like school, and I couldn't listen at
concentrate. Yeah. Because there were moments I was trying to slip the personality in, but ultimately I was working off because there's so much fucking content. I was working off a script. So my aim is I need to get to a point where I know the content so deeply as a subject I've created that I don't need a script, because when I can do a Tony Robbins or whatever, where he's just fucking reeling off all of these concepts because he's lived with the work for a little bit, for a long time.
I reckon Tony Robbins is literally just screaming into the abyss, and we translate it to whatever we want it to be. He's there going, ah! And we're like, wow.
But that's a really, really good piece of feedback. It's like, next time, now I know that happened and it worked, I can go back in, just being I think I just sometimes I get like I over prepare with situations like this because of my autism and because of my neurodivergence. I just worry that if I don't have a script, I'm gonna fuck up. Whereas you, when you're on stage and when
I don't script
talks, you're the fucking opposite. Actually, I need to get mentored by you.
You don't.
Realizing.
No. But this is it, where we all need each other because we need each other, right?
Yeah.
So we meet each other because we're mirrors and we're reflections at the perfect time.
Yeah.
The only thing that I would say is, like, you want to attract people like yourself.
Yeah.
How would you be able to stay engaged? And I would say just record one with your phone and then record one without it and just see how it goes.
Yeah. Completely.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah. I think now I've done that, I would be able to just have it as the slides, little prompts.
Yeah.
I'm going to try one without. So if you could, that piece of advice you just gave, if you could summarize that in a couple of sentences, can I write it down?
As in,
be authentic, not necessarily be authentic, but try the next one without a script.
Yeah, just ad lib it.
Yeah.
So I found out recently that one of my favorite actors, Joseph Gilgun, really sorry, my phone keeps, I don't know if you can see it. Someone's
sounds
booking,
like a fart every time.
Is it?
Through,
That's someone booking in for a hair appointment. And that's what happens every time my phone farts.
Wow,
it's like,
you're so popular.
Yeah, I'm like trying to read it, like
750.
Yes. No. Do you know what? Talking of price, let's talk about. I'm going to scrot this down. That is not what I meant. I'm going to jot this down. Jesus Christ! It's been a day. We're going to put money.
Wait for a second, just for a minute. I'm just going to go and get my hummus and bread because, like, this is a hummus and bread conversation.
This is a snack time.
Sorry to everyone else listening.
That's right. I'm going to carry on talking.
Okay, great.
So anyway.
So
what I'm briefly summarizing what I said earlier to Bessie about ad lib. So basically, Joseph Gilgun is an actual legend. This man, like I've always thought like that's like a mirror. He just has this like I want to say like authenticity about him, which is really unapologetic and probably a little bit problematic. I don't know if you would say so yourself, Joseph, but I actually think that things like that, so I'll go back to it.
Yeah.
Basically, this actor is so authentic that sometimes it comes across as like, fuck.
It's like jarring.
Well, like, but I don't think to everyone. I think to people like myself and to people like you, it's so authentic that it hits the cells.
Yeah.
So when this actor is like performing on a lot of like the things that I've seen anyway, so let's say like This Is England, or there's Brassic as well, which I'm pretty sure Brassic is as well. Anyway, basically, there's a script, but it's ad-libbed, and it's ad-libbed on purpose because scripted things and people that are neurodiverse, and which he is as well, you actually can't, some people can't be like this or trying to memorize. So it will say like here, like the other day the bus went to Shoreham, and then you're here and you're like, the other day the bus went to Shoreham. Whereas if someone goes to you, look, you're going to do a scene, the bus is going to Shoreham, can you just say something like that?
Yeah.
And then you turn up and you're like, oh, the other day, or like, oh, I went to the, it just comes out more, like I was getting this bus and it ended up going to Shoreham. So then you kind of get more of like a realistic behavior pattern. And I only found out basically today when I was watching some interviews of different people that I really find like inspirational. And I was finding out that some of these shows that I really love are actually ad-lib. And that's why I love them, because I don't know if I've ever told you this, I struggle to watch films or series because I can feel acting. I can feel when acting is acting, and it's like does that make sense?
Yes.
So to put it in a nutshell, to put it in a scrot, chowing down, just keep filming yourself, ad-libbing it, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're so like it's in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it literally is you. It's like whenever I do things, but I also understand what you mean. Like, because even I went to the doctors today and I kind of wish that I'd rehearsed some part of that.
Yeah.
Because now I'm here, which I need to like fill everyone in. Not that I haven't been talking like nonstop already and touching my hair because I'm having a fucking meltdown.
I just love the balance between our two energies. It's just so good. Like I need like unmedicated you to come on my like ketamine fueled tranquilizer webinar where everything is so relaxing to get that disparity between the two. And like I just want to be able to get to a point where I lighten up. Like there is so much of a like banter light version of me, like we've all seen it, but when it comes to my work and when I'm trying to I feel so strongly about what I'm doing and it's my passion and my love, things suddenly get very calm and serious, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's just
you're protecting people. You want people to be safe because you've been told that the real you is dangerous.
That's the quote.
Lip it. Wear it round your face.
I was told when I was younger, like my mum, I would be authentic, blah, 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 and my mum would just look at me and say, "Don't do that. Don't be like that." So, in doing something like this that feels so important to me, I monitor myself because I've been told if full Bessie comes out, that's a danger to everyone.
Yeah. I like big relate. Big relate. Like I have to say this, and I hope this guy watches, that was on at the end of the seminar, with him saying that his creative artistry of his whole life is a corpse. And I could see that both of us wanted to laugh, and not because it was funny as in like it's sad funny, like it was genuinely comically genius. It was literally a moment where actually this is, I think you could have gone, dude, that's brilliant,
just hilarious.
That's brilliant. Because that's, if he was more himself, his artistry
and he was
would be
so himself in that.
I don't think he was.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he was being too serious.
Yeah.
I think him saying his
corpse.
Yeah, him saying his albums that he's trying to blow life into a corpse is more of a view into himself than him being like the cry for help.
Yeah.
Or like the thinking nothing is perfect.
Well, it's interesting. I appreciate the feedback on it. And just on the back of that, before we move on to your brilliant day of doctor experiences, out of the 5 pillars that I looked at, CRADS, was there any questions that came up or anything within there that you were like, oh, I need to look at that more, I need to find it? Yes.
So my main thing was in the sustainability, every question I answered no.
Okay.
And that was really tough.
Yeah. Okay.
So
that's the
if you want to run through people what the sustainability part of it is, even as a sneak peek, so everyone click when this link this seminar, what is it called? Is it a seminar?
Webinar.
This webinar.
I forget. I'm calling it an orientation, which is very vague. But so can the creative life you're building actually hold you? Does my current creative rhythm feel sustainable over years? As I said that question, I laughed, and I laughed on behalf of every fucking artist that I know, because I don't know, this is not a you problem. This is not a personality flaw. This is literally everyone I know has this issue, because we've not been taught. Am I building habits that support my long-term well-being? That's a tricky one. Do I have boundaries that protect my creative time and energy? Is the structure around my work helping me or draining me?
Like all of it. I mean, and that was a yes. So it was all no's apart from a yes.
Yeah.
Because all I'm doing is working, coming home, worrying about working, not creating. My creative flow is something completely different.
Yes.
I love creating image and identity for people.
Yeah.
And then I had a client today making kind of underhanded jokes, but I wasn't sure if it was, and again, this is me being on the spectrum, about my haircuts being expensive,
right?
But I wasn't sure.
Literally doing it for 20 years, but okay.
Different person, so not the person you're thinking of, but someone connected to, and I was just like, that's so interesting, because I'm worth it. And that's so lucky. I mean, this is a big change for me.
That's huge.
I didn't even respond. I was like, yeah. And it's not even, they were making a joke, and the price was really high. That's not how much I charge. So I was just thinking, like, I mean, if people want to look and feel that good, and it wasn't a crazy amount either.
And was that for a specific project? Was it because it was on location for something that it was more, that you were charging more?
No. It was just making a funny joke about haircuts being expensive, I think, in general. But I also think this is a tough thing, and like listening to that dude at the end of the webinar again, talking about the main issue for his art was that he hasn't been able to afford to live in Slough. No, I'm joking. But it was somewhere really random, and it was like, my art hasn't been able to support me to live in this small town. And I was thinking, all we need really in our lives, right, is to be able to create and sustain a life that's simply worth living. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be living in a 10-bedroom house. I just want, a bit of land and a comfortable home and a family that I can support and be supported by my it's not just going to be me. I'm sure of it.
So many artists want the same thing, and it's such a simple thing. I remember when I first started to study music, they were like, what do you want for your life? I was like, I just want to make a living out of this.
Yeah.
And it can come in many forms. What I was really trying to say is I want to live a life where I get to be creative pretty much every day, and I get to live a life that feels aligned. That's all I want. And the fact that there are no systems or anything in place for that to happen is wild.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are like, here's your strategy of how to get out there, productivity, but nothing is like connecting all of them together and being like, before that even exists, like you need to have the structure on the inside to even navigate this crazy fucked up capitalist environment that we're in,
like how is anyone going to make money if they're burnout and they're not putting in place like and what did you call it, the seasons? I really like the seasons, because when you were like, what season are you in right now and what can you do for this week? So mine is like, I haven't properly been resting and I've been burnt out, and it's also like recreating my identity and having like a real strength to that, which is really lovely, because that means now I'm going to have a weekend. Well, I'm going to do some lovely hair, but I'm going to have a weekend where I just like sustain myself with nutrients, like good food, good sleep, and then I'm gonna build like some Pinterest boards of what I want my life to look like.
Beautiful, and that's the direction.
Yeah, that's like.
And that's the sorry to interrupt, I'm getting excited about it, but the direction part, which is you're in the building phase, like the exploring phase, and I'll find names for all of these a little bit more, but that needs to be honored, and you're doing that through the Pinterest boards.
Totally, and that's through doing this today, because like I had a bit of like a writing session yesterday, and that was through meeting another friend and talking about creativity out of hair. So I'm making sure I'm doing things that isn't just cutting clients' hair, which are friends as well. But what it then made me realize as well was like, I was like, oh, I love chaos and mess, and how am I actually expressing that as myself as an artist, and how would you know that I'm creative in other ways? And I realized again, I've been masking by trying to look a certain way. And you saw my outfit earlier, like I'm a lot more leaning into things being out of the box and not having to feel like I look so tailored. Because actually, yes, I want to make a living, but why do I not think I can't make a living doing other chippy choppy hair? Like I don't have to suddenly start only doing sleek hair and dressing sleek, because then you're putting yourself in a.
If and just to add as well, if you set aside a little bit of time per day or per week for a creative process that's not related to hair, like if you do explore film more, if you explore for all of these, you're an artist, Lexi, like you're an artist, then all of those explorations that you give yourself time for, they will enrich you, they'll fill you up, but they'll also inform your hair. It will be a full you'll be doing something completely unrelated to hair, and it will give you this idea. Like I think the creative process, like all little bits inform each other.
And there was something today as well, holy moly.
Go on, tell me.
So there was something today where what happened is what did it happen? Oh, flip. So fucking hell. Maybe I should start from the beginning of the day.
Start from the beginning. I'm getting my hummus out.
Yeah, get your hummus out, out. Right. Hello to everyone who is on the spectrum of any sort, which is all of you. You're all on the spectrum. That's pretty invasive, me saying that. But no, okay, we all are in some sort of way. I have been diagnosed with ADHD, and I have been given a very, I would say, quite high dose, which is supposed to be my prescripted dose. I can't take the whole thing all the time if I'm not working in salon, because what it does is it puts me to sleep. Because I'm not on the loop.
Yeah.
So let's say an average, and this is really loosely, this is an average ADHD day. So loose because it's going to be different for everyone.
Yeah.
So say I'm in like quite a let's say spring. That's kind of like how I am. It's not like I'm not in like a manic depressive episode, a low episode, let's say. Again, I'm not saying that I am that or saying that's bad for anyone. Oh, my life, don't cancel me. Just because I know that like it's just such a sensitive, I've just realized it's so sensitive for me to be throwing things out like that all about. Anyway, I digress. You can tell I'm ADHD, man. Anyway, a typical day for me when I'm in a high of ADHD, I wake up and I'm like, I think maybe now because I'm in burnout, but I'll be like, I'll wake up and be like, another day. So it almost starts negative with, you can't, it's almost like you can't help it, right?
Relatable content, mate. Relatable content.
So I wake up and I'm like, what's the point? Like another day, what's the point? I actually love my life, but I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah, because your dopamine is lower than the Earth's core.
Lower, yeah. And this is even in a high, like a good week. So I wake up and be like, fuck it,
already
burn it all, burn it
all
to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
And then what I will do is I will caffeinate the absolute like tits off myself. Like probably put some either music on and like
some sort of stimulus.
It'll be like music, like,
can I just interject that like this morning I could not have described an opposite way of waking up. I didn't turn, just as a quick one, I didn't turn any lights on, dark room, covered. I listened to gentle ancestral rhythms from Africa for 2 hours in my bed, lying down like this with nothing but that rhythm. And I'm just like listening to you and I'm like, I don't think I've ever woken up, madly caffeinated myself and listened to music. Like that would just be my idea of hell.
Wow.
That whole way of regulating.
Yeah. So it'd be like,
I'm so glad that we don't date.
Yeah, it couldn't work.
It couldn't work.
It couldn't work.
But as friends, just fantastic.
Well, this is where we like do this.
Yeah.
So like, hard caffeine. First, hard wanna die, hard caffeine, hard techno. Right. It's like
the triple
threat. If I don't take some drugs, some legal drugs right now, I will die.
Yes.
And it would be hard techno, a run, hot shower, cold shower, dry my hair, makeup, dance, sing, out the house immediately. That's how like. But when I take my ADHD medication, so obviously living like that, right? Imagine that was my life. That's hard. That's hard work.
That's exhausting.
That's every day. Unless you're having like.
It sounds like you need to be medicated, no?
Oh, I am. Yeah. That's unmedicated.
Right.
So, and unmedicated when it's a low, and again, put in the comments if anyone relates to this, unmedicated with a low is you wake up and you're like, another day, hard want to die.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'll just stay here for a bit, actually. Because you don't even have that bit of dopamine to press play or to text someone or, and
nothing.
So that would be, so I would get that bad so much that I got support. So what I did today was I took half the amount of the slow release, and what it does, so instead of me being like, get up, rah, big up, big down, take loads of up, feeling a bit, whatever, you take a bit and it just makes everything go, and then I have like a cup of tea and I fold some clothes.
Lovely.
So that's like the difference, I would say. Or I can play a bit of music, but it doesn't have to be this like trying to bring me to an equilibrium. The mistake I made today and this isn't always, because I actually think that my ADHD high like that, I actually don't think it's a negative for me. I just think that it's great to have support, because it's really hard trying to survive on being that turned up all the time to try and find to find relaxation. But like what you can do sometimes is you can sabotage yourself.
I've just suddenly thought, how about I change it from crads to trads? And the first pillar is just how turned are you? Anyway, carry on.
But you can take too much and it just puts you to sleep. Yeah. So today I got up and I was really excited because I was going for this spine appointment that I've been waiting to go to for 10 years. 10 years.
The only thing that's straight about you.
Yeah.
Even that's not straight.
Even that's not straight. Fuck. Fuck. And God. And I took the slow release. I took a fast release, which I'm not supposed to. And I had 2 coffees.
Wait, you had a slow and fast release and 2 coffees? Alexi,
so
that's fucked.
So because coffee does essentially what the medication does, sort of.
Yeah.
But because I was feeling particularly, I just wanted everything to be quite. I was like, I just want it to go really.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say anything weird to the doctor.
Yeah.
Which it didn't work, by the way. Spoiler alert.
Did you say that you were a nun, like you did to the other person?
No, I asked him for a hug at the end.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I asked him for a hug at the end. So I ended up going to have my spine appointment done, and basically he checked everything and was doing things where you touch your nose, and I had to like touch his fingers and stuff. And as he was checking my spine, he was like, "Have you had your diagnosis for ADHD? I mean, for autism. Have you had your diagnosis for autism?" And I was like, "Not the diagnosis, but I'm pretty sure I'm somewhere." And he was like, "Yeah." I don't think it's because of my spine thing. I think it's because of how I disassociated. And I said to him, I was like, I think I've taken a touch too much if I'm a bit like,
like when you're gone, you've pushed yourself to the limit.
Yeah. But where I'm going with this is that because I had 2 coffees and ADHD medication, and this is where me talking to everyone that's on the spectrum, and I'm sure you're going to relate to this, because I connected to someone on a friendship level to do with care, it released a lot of oxytocin and I lost the plot. And I felt like I had had 2 or 3 margaritas and my favorite song was playing.
Yeah, I get it.
I literally was like
7 p.m. outside. Yeah, I know exactly the location of that oxytocin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I would love to hear a story maybe that you could, that you think about like for yourself in this instant. But like, what do we do with that? And
what do we do with the lack of oxytocin and serotonin?
No. So my question is more, because I know it happens with people who, when you can unmask with someone and you connect and you click, and it's like you feel like you've met a bestie.
Yeah.
how do you differentiate?
Mm.
Because bear in mind, I've met a doctor who I now think is my bestie, but they're paid to care for people.
Yes.
So
yeah.
part of me is
Can I be
like,
honest about what might be happening, but it might break your bubble?
no, it's going to be perfect, and I probably know.
I think you're slightly emotionally starved and definitely touch starved.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think
so true. But I said this to him as well.
yeah, and that specific type of care you got from them, you were seen. You were seen in that moment. You were deeply seen, you were understood. That is like crack to someone who's not being offered that often. And
Who's
one of the
isolated.
reasons, right, and the Chihuahua nearly came into your life because of that reason. Like you're recently realizing how much emotional connection is needed, but not just in the way, obviously the friend you can get to a certain degree, you can get it in conversation, but there's another layer that he offered you today that would have made you feel like, well, that's my person. You know, there's no shame in it. I think all of your body is just craving that safety, that emotional connection. That's what I'm viewing anyway.
To the point where at the end of my doctor's appointment, I was like, "Can I have a hug?" And
Yeah.
he was like, "You need to go fight. You need to go have more hugs." I was like, "You prescribed me hugs?" He was like, "Yep."
That's really sweet.
It was so sweet.
And they do the when you shared they seem like a really really sweet person. So you probably had that safety with them.
Mm-hmm. And it was just a real, again, realization of exactly like you're saying, that us as human beings, and this was a segue as well. So, as a creative person and an artist, if you isolate yourself and you
Yes.
don't outwardly create,
Yeah.
what happens is your creative energy creates pain and dis-ease in your body.
I need
So
to write that down.
what he was saying to me
Yeah.
was, he goes, I get that you've had this pain for 10 years, but let's talk about it. He was like, part of the thing with stuff with being on the spectrum as well is that we can get so used to our state, and we can cycle and survive off of the cycle of the pain cycle of, ouch, am I in pain? Yes, I'm in pain. Ouch, is that pain? Yes. And that becomes a cycle. And the only way to break that loop is by finding other loops. And this was like such an amazing conversation to have today. And what it made me realize when I had a friend pop over after I went to the doctors, because I had to have a nap because I'd had too much.
Yeah.
I'd had too much. It was so much kindness, so much deep chat. I got touched as well, which was like huge. And there was like a bit there. And I remember just being like, whoa. And
Whoa.
he was like, is that painful? I was like, no, it actually just feels nice. I was like, I just isolated a very long time. And he was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And then
Wow. This is
seeing
part
my
of your healing.
100%. And then seeing my friend as well. But I was very like a bit this. And I said to her, and I know why I'm a bit closed like this now after today.
Mm.
Because I actually just need to dance more. I need to laugh more. I need to create more and like squish. Because I love squishing and touching. I love giving
Yes.
people massages. I love like touching.
You need to find that happy medium between where I went over the summer, which was that you're describing on drugs, like just dissolving into the soil, holding hands and crying and connecting with all of my friends. Like that's an extreme. But if you're able to, at the moment, or you have been, like, time is money, creativity is money, go, 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 go. If you're able to just find that balance in between the middle of time is money and Jesus in the forest, then I think you'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, because work, sleep doesn't do it.
It's that's not all that there is to life.
No. Do you know what I said to one of my pals when I was talking about creativity? This is also what happens if you like hold it all in.
Yeah.
Is I said to them that we should make some zines, and I said something like, oh, I don't know how un-PG to go with this. I said
Oh,
something like,
completely. You can go as
yeah, but
unpg as
like
well.
this is what I do as a joke. This is
Yeah.
like unmedicated. The real me. I'm like, the first 10 before we sell them, we should piss on them. I'm like, but I say it, or it's like it's almost for impact or just to be spicy. So thank God I took meds and I didn't go to a spine appointment, and I would have been like, do you want to get married?
But
Yeah,
that's
no.
so that there's so much connected to that. So that one appointment has made you realize what is missing in your
Yeah,
life,
yeah. And that
and
it
what you need
also
to
exists,
implement. Yeah,
and that
absolutely.
it exists.
Yeah. And that there are so many, yeah, oh my God, there's so many people like that doctor out in the world. It's just a case of the more you continue to focus on those other areas of your life that then will outwardly take you to these beautiful opportunities that will keep coming. You will meet more people like this, but you have to be open to it
And be that.
and be that.
Because the
Yeah.
coolest thing was, and the coolest thing about him was the fact that I think at one part of it, it was like, what do you want to get out of this, this appointment with like helping you with your spine? And I was like, I've lived with this sciatic nerve problem for 10 years. I know really what I need to do, but
Yeah.
I just want to be seen stronger and really show up in the world, because all that it's doing really to me is it's making me
Yeah,
do
making you
this.
feel
It's the
smaller.
excuse. It's the
Yeah.
excuse for me to do this. I was like, I really just need to be out there
Out
like
there.
that.
Yeah.
And I believe that I can do it.
Yes, absolutely.
And he was like, I'm really proud of you. That's really
Yeah.
great. And it was
Yeah.
wonderful, right? But also
Beautiful.
that is flirt and talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I say it jokingly because,
Yeah.
but it that's love. And
Yeah.
I don't care, because it's, you
Yeah.
know,
Being told that someone is proud of you, especially in environments that a lot of us grew up where that it was, I mean, well, don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it.
yeah.
It's not something that is mentioned. So when it does happen, it's almost like an anomaly to your brain. You're like, what is this?
Mm,
What is this thing that just happened? Why do I feel
mm,
so warm? Why do I feel like I've had two margaritas? It's because
mm.
that's what love feels like.
And real love. And it's
Yeah.
like how, say for example, like us being so close as friends.
Yeah.
And what I love about our like connection is we're teaching each other and showing each other that language as well.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
also in moments where, like, when I'm really proud of you and you're doing something really great, I also have space to say things like, I'm so proud of you and well done. But also, that's triggered in me that I feel a bit this currently.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you're
Yeah.
like, so fair. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to write some things down, but like, that's sick. And then in the next couple of days, I've noticed that I'll then come back and be like, oh, I've learned this from this. How are you doing? And you're like, well, actually, this
Yeah.
is the day I'm
I'm
doubting.
right. And then you'll exactly that, and the opposite will be true. I'll be, and then I can't even remember exactly the context, but you sent me loads of voice notes on the day that you were feeling like you were coming back into being a human and like learning all kind of working with all the things that you'd learned. And I just felt so, I needed it so bad. I needed what you said so bad.
Mm.
Um, so we're,
Positive reinforcement, isn't
yeah,
it? And it's, again, it's the mirror.
yeah,
We are bringing mirrors into our lives. And actually, I've just realized that that's what the doctor is.
yeah.
He was a
He was
mirror of
a
me.
loving mirror.
Yeah.
But that and when you experience pure love and true love, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be in
Hmm.
friendships. But
Hmm.
sometimes I've noticed that some people can be given that mirror of hit. I've had this in my life so much. You know how pure I've been, and I'm always going to have a purity to me. But I sometimes, and you've done this with people, like I will shine this, like, here's pure love, and some people do not know what to do with it, and they actually implode within it and start to project onto you because there's
Yeah.
too much darkness there or whatever that they haven't worked through.
Mm.
um
Or they don't love themselves.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
then you loving them, it
It's
almost is
too
like,
much
what are you
doing.
doing?
Yeah, I've had
What are
that
you
before.
doing?
People have like looked at me like, ugh, because they're disgusted by the fact that I love them.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
It's really sad for them.
Yeah, completely. But you know what, I there's one moment recently where I was like, oh God, this person like really cares about me. Like I noticed this with you. Like I felt so much love from you. I was going to, for Valentine's weekend, I was going to Status Flow into the studio, and I just said, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And then you just started crying.
Oh
You
yeah.
were
Oh
like,
my
you're going to the
God.
studio. And I was like, why are you getting so emotional over this? And
Yeah.
you were like,
Oh.
because it's your thing and you're going to, and you just, you pattern recognition the shit out of it. And was
Yeah.
just like, I just was like, wow, they're seeing me beyond like 4 layers of me, you know?
You were packing a bag and an overnight airbag to stay the night in a beautiful studio so you
Yeah.
could record the whole weekend for your day.
Yeah.
Oh, my heart.
Oh.
It was like immediate tears, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I'm just
I
crying.
can't. Yeah.
I'm just so joyous that
Because you
this
knew
this is
how big it
existing.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just love that you were like basically back by you're like, it's just what I do.
I'm Tiny Tim. This is
I'm
what
off to I'm off to make some bangers.
I do. Oh
But
God.
that's love, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
Completely.
love when people are
Fucking
like,
camera.
yeah, yeah. It's so funny. There's one moment where you said something really like, and your hands did this, and it zoomed in.
Oh God. Yeah, but that's the mirrors that we need in our lives. Those
mm,
if we are just if we isolate ourselves and don't allow mirrors in, it can become a very lonely existence. And our mind starts to take over. And if our mind isn't well trained, because all of us are living off monkey minds pretty much, we can start to deteriorate quite quickly. Love makes the world go round.
and there is so many people out there
So many.
that like
It's insane.
are so like, but they're so ready. And this is another thing, exactly like what we're saying today. And I really want to bring this up. It's not about objectifying, and it's not about sexualizing, and it's not about like the meeting I had about creating with this other artist. The main thing that I wanted to communicate was I really want to create a space for queer, trans love that isn't sexualized, that isn't hard sexualized as well. Like I want it to be like cotton. I don't want it to be like,
Just
latex and double-ended, like
just
whatever,
love.
like just, just cushions. But also I don't want it to feel like people have to be very touchy. And I think love are these conversations. Like I think today I got dysregulated because I was loved,
Wow.
and like, yeah.
Wow.
And with no expectation, no, like, so just honestly, like, I see you're doing great, like you are a bit on the
That's so
spectrum though.
yeah.
And there's me like, I'm like, beep bop boop bop. What do you mean? He's like, we've stopped doing that bit now, and I'm like, oh right, no, it wasn't. But yeah, and I think the reason that I was so flooded with that, and I had to go on top of a hill in some trees, is because I felt safe.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you felt safe. So did your body feel unsafe? Because does closeness feel like a threat or?
No, so it was so like, it was this whoosh of like, I left and I was like, oh. I was like, what was that? 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 And then I was like, oh my God, I feel really great. I feel really great. I feel really great. And I was like, oh, I was just seen, accepted, and loved for exactly who I was. That was pretty cool. We
need more of these. I want to give you like 100 of those experiences if I could.
They're coming now because I'm available to them. I would just say to myself now that I need to pick medication or caffeine, one or the other. Don't have both,
dude. Not both.
No, because it sends you to the precipice of like another timeline. So you're in two at one time.
It's just over. It's just you're not
No.
You can't be regulated.
No.
You can't be.
No.
You're stimulated.
Mm.
And you're feeling dopamine, which is what your brain is desperately trying to get, but
Mm.
it's not regulation. But that's another question of like, and this is not one that I have any knowledge in, but like, what does regulation long term really look like for someone with ADHD? Like,
I don't know.
yeah, because as an ADHD person, my idea of regulation, which is like whale sounds, incense, and like soft rugs, is going to feel really understimulating. It's going to feel understimulating to you
No, not well.
at some point. Like even at the who I live with, my my housemate James, I love them to pieces, but like I can hear their brain in the next room. They need they need something to do. They need to be active. They need to be
Yeah.
moving. And maybe regulation for you has to do with movement as well. I don't know.
Is that are they sensory seeking?
Yeah.
I think for myself, I
Connection.
probably at some point need animals. Goats,
I was
chickens,
going to say we're back to the chihuahua, like
chihuahua.
but yeah, no, definitely goats. I can see you with
Yeah,
a goat so deeply.
yeah. Like me going out and being like, you're right, Bob. You're right, Dylan. And it's just like,
Oh
and then they're like, meh, and then I just like
no, we're not
scritch them
all
a bit.
right.
Yeah, fucking Bob, mate. I don't know. Just I need something to be like, give a little
Yeah.
squish, and then like clean up its poop, and then come away and be alone. I think that everyone's regulation's different, isn't it? I also, though I say that today, I was like, wow, that was like great. I'm probably more on the spectrum than I thought. No, I've always known. And
We
then
all know.
obviously, yeah. And then obviously, I went and I bought a vintage shirt because I had to like bought like a soft shirt and then lay down and ate a little cake in bed and had a nap. So
Oh,
I think, yeah, we all have our things, don't we? And smells a really nice one with incense and stuff. But I just wonder, like, if anyone, if anyone resonates or relates to this with um, things like, I don't know, having deep connections
mm-hmm.
when you're somebody that lives alone.
Yes. That's
That
tricky.
because I don't sleep around.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
That's also not deep connection.
No, true. But like
Oh, I see
how?
what you mean. Like at least you get some physical touch.
Yeah, like how do
Yeah.
people navigate it? Because I'm
They
not
go
going to
out.
be I'm
Yeah.
not going to be cuddling my mates. It's
Well,
just
you're not going to be cuddling your mates. Okay, well that does make it tricky. If you are you completely set against cuddling your mates? Like if I were to come round and like we had a little cuddle, would that feel weird?
freak me out. Yeah.
Okay, because I really do want to cuddle you, but
Oh, do you know what? Another friend said this to me as well. They were like, I just want to cuddle you and watch movies.
yeah,
And
but that would freak you out. But it wouldn't freak you out if
oh,
it was a romantic partner.
no,
I just
but that also would, because then I would assume,
that you assume it's sexual.
oh my God, I need therapy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know what's so funny? I was speaking to my housemate about this, and less than 3 months ago, they felt the same way. We had to work so hard to get to the point where they now feel comfortable being
Yeah.
spooned by me. And
Because, yeah, because it hasn't always been like that for me either. And also, it isn't always,
yeah.
interestingly.
Mm.
Like, I was doing like those really lovely, like botanical washes, and I can do Reiki massages, and I can do like energy
I feel like
stuff.
we used to cuddle. No, we don't think we did. We never cuddle. No.
No.
I didn't even notice it back then as something that we didn't do, which is quite sad. But I think we were just like early 20s, whatever. But you were saying, yeah, so
Was
you've
that
got,
in the liquid house?
yeah, in the fucking music studio house. Like but I feel like, but I think it was all very like we connected in like chaotic ways, and we would have deep chats, but we were like outside or
I also had been attacked.
yeah,
So I'd gone full sober
yeah,
monk, and I don't think I think I was celibate for 3 years
yeah.
after I got attacked. And now thinking about it, probably still from there, I think there's something that's actually come down recently, which is why the oxytocin. Because, say,
Mm,
for example, today wasn't sexual. It was just like,
mm.
bye. You know, it was very sweet. Like,
I'm
I got a
so
high
proud of you for
five.
hugging them. That's
Yeah, like, it was like a proper
yeah.
little high five. It was like
Can I ask
lovely.
you a question?
Yeah.
Can the doctor hug you but not me?
No, we can hug like that.
Okay, because it was sorry, that sounded so aggressive. But because it's a
We've
small
hugged.
we've hugged like that
We've hugged
loads.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
like the actual like if we were like lying on the sofa hugging, you're like, no, no, no.
Yeah, but why?
Yeah.
I think because I've only
Mm,
had that intimately. I don't even think like
I
now
guess
getting my
people
mum to hug me is hard.
yeah, yeah.
Like I don't so I think
I think I hug my parents like twice a year.
mm,
Yeah.
okay, then that's quite like a similar thing as
Well,
well. Like
I
nobody
don't know if it's I mean different people, different
yeah.
but you're not the only one I've spoken to that's like, oh no, like even with my
Mm,
recent dating and who I dated, they were like this takes me a long time to get to this being comfortable. Like,
yeah. But at festivals, at sober festivals, I've got like a few
yeah,
people, like all genders, where like we will hug for like
ages.
ages.
But because it's within a safe outdoors festival container where you're like, I know what the role is here. We are
Mm,
spiritually connecting. This is part of the role. Whereas if you're
mm,
on the sofa and connecting, you're like, I don't know what the boundaries are. This is
mm,
what happens if suddenly I get like aroused.
mm. But I've had it a few times when I was living in the guardianship, not gonna lie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
As in like you were hugging someone
And then
platonically?
they were like, yeah,
No, this is
yeah,
probably why.
yeah.
Oh God, I'm so
That's probably why,
sorry.
actually. Yeah. And it's really
Uh,
awkward because I like both times. Was
no,
it twice?
fuck's sake. Why
Was it
can't people just
twice?
leave people alone? I'm putting on my
Um,
mask.
because love that. Because people are horny.
I know, but it's like, why can't you just like have like Tash will come over and we will lie in bed for hours just hugging. I've fallen asleep on
Cute.
I've fallen asleep on their chest before, and it's just pure love. It's pure love. We call
Cute.
each other's twin flame, but it's complete. We're
Cute.
just like brothers from a past life. Just like having platonic love
Mm,
is so important because it
like
doesn't
my
go anywhere.
husband.
Yeah, yeah. And but to yeah, I mean it's interesting because my attachment system has been activated recently with like my housemate because we're so deeply connected, and I've let them in to an extra layer of like emotional intimacy. So when they feel like going ups and downs in terms of their mood or whatever, I'm emotionally attached to them.
Mm,
So I'm having to like rein that in and be like, you're not, this isn't a relationship.
mm.
You don't have to.
This is difficult. This is
Yeah.
where it gets difficult. Like,
Difficult because
fuck.
when you connect with someone so deeply like that and they're just a
Ah,
friend, that's when it gets weird.
this is where it is
That's what happened.
difficult
The people you've
because
known this to happen with me as well.
yeah, all
Like
the
I'm not going to mention any
time.
names, but with
Every person, every person.
every woman that yeah
Yeah.
yeah carry on yeah
And I think this is what I had as well with like a best friend at school. Like we were best
got
friends
too intense.
and then it got really intense and then we were kind of lovers, but we were also like who knew who was gay and who wasn't gay, and that was confusing. And then I became the bad guy. So I think that's
Yeah.
where it is like part of me is like I'm worried about how to navigate boundaries. I do have a few, like quite a few female friends I've realized actually that I'm very cuddly with when I'm out and about.
That's lovely, but not on the
Um
sofa. I
I
just think
barely let people in my house.
I know yeah We will I feel like this has got some deeper layers to it, so we will unpack.
Yeah, this is probably like 5 podcasts in one, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, some of this needs to be edited out
I'm always
because
like
I'm
very
worried.
well, yeah, I'm always uh like an advocate of just like, let's just keep, like, there are moments where it's like triple chin, I'm like inhaling a whole loaf of Hovis, like those things happened in today's episode. But I'm also like an advocate of like keeping as much of it in as possible. But I think I will just send it to you and we'll check if anything needs to be
Yeah,
taken out.
I'm glad we had our midweek.
Debrief.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so, and yeah, I was planning, as always on a Wednesday, what we normally do is have it in the middle of the day. But because of the webinar, I was just getting really autistic about it, and I was almost like hyper focusing on getting this done. So the fact that we did the podcast after the webinar, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Because I would have just been mute through our podcast through.
Yeah.
Through nerves.
Are you gonna do actually, like, tell the people all about it? How often are you gonna be doing it? How often are you gonna be doing that?
So it was just a free webinar for the purpose of understanding the framework, so then I can offer mentoring. That was the aim. But because that was the first one, I think I might do another one next month, offer it free again.
Yeah.
And do it just like angle it. I don't know what that's going to look like, but it won't be exactly the same. It will maybe be
sillier.
Yeah, sillier. And like the actual content will be slightly different, but I don't know what that will look like. But yeah, next month I'll host another one, and I'll be doing.
You'll be like, what?
Are you feeling CRADS? Yeah, it's kind of a wild. I love it though. Like, it's wow. This genuinely, and who knows how long this will last for, but this concept and this is so early days. What I'm building.
Yeah.
It feels like this is like life work.
Yeah. You just got to do it.
This feels like 20
like
years
this
of my life.
Yeah, but this is the whole thing, isn't it? You are doing it.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm obsessed, so that it's, and I'm lucky in the way my autism works, that like if I get hooked on something, I'm set for life. So we'll see. I've just got to learn to lighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna let you go to bed because you're fucked, mate.
I am.
And so am I. So much love to everyone who listens to our insanely.
To all 3 of you.
Yeah. Those are the ones that keep. Did you see? We had some comments on the previous one.
No.
Someone asked a question. One of them said, "Lol, yo, Alexi disappeared and then came back," and they found that really funny because your mum called and then you came back sideways on the call.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God.
The beginning, I actually had to put in the description, the video starts 10 minutes in, because the first 10 minutes are just absolute chaos. And from both of us. But yeah, no, we had someone comment saying, do you take questions? Because I've got like a question I want to ask. So yeah, just beautiful.
Like, we need to reply to them and then
I've replied.
What was the question?
It was like something about living a sustainable life as an artist, or something about burnout. You're welcome to go on YouTube and check and tell me if you want to. I should have asked you.
Well, let's how about we both put up on our Instagrams, and then we find that question and we do half of it answering questions.
Yeah. And there might be more. And what I'm finding is it's not just people viewing it through your Insta story or my Insta stories or Insta. There's just traffic coming from YouTube. There's just like random people from different countries watching it.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And the algorithm
supports. They're seeing our faces.
Yeah, in like New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Crads on tour.
Crads. It's so close to lads as well. Crads on tour. That is absolutely the in-person with an audience self-led artist. Crads on tour. Fuck's sake. Right, everyone. Love you all. Have a great rest of your week wherever you are.
Bye.
Bye.